Okay, and hello again this evening, everybody. This is my second reading for this evening. I'm just having some nice quiet time to myself while everyone's gone to bed. These are a couple of topics that I wanted to follow up on from earlier today, but I didn't want to make the earlier reading too long, and the earlier reading was a bit light and fluffy and covered a lot of topics. So I wanted to just look into what is happening in Afghanistan at the moment. An interpreter who worked with the Australian Army has been beaten to death by the Taliban. He was not brought out with his family by the Australian government, which is just, blood on their hands. We knew it was going to happen. The government had plenty of time to make arrangements to get our people out. Those that had worked with the Afghans in the Australian Army, those who had worked with the Afghans, who had knew these people who worked and helped our troops, had been pleading with the government to get them out, and the government I'm sorry. The current Australian government is just self-serving, listening to the noisy minority, not serving the people, not standing up for our allies, not doing what is needed for the world, and just makes my skin crawl thinking about them. But what I want to do is, like everyone else in our position, our heart goes out to the Afghan people who are now under Taliban rule. The Taliban made promises that we knew they were not going to keep, and so not surprised when they didn't keep them. So I just want to do an update on where Afghanistan are at, and what's going to happen to the Afghani people in the near future. I'm not going to read on the Taliban. I'm going to read on the people, on the civilians of Afghanistan. Because it is an emotional subject, I'm using my Light Seers Tarot. Beautiful cards. Often use them for when I'm reading for family and friends, and I'd like to use them tonight in respect of our family and friends in Afghanistan. These cards are protected by my beautiful rose quartz that I've had for, it's probably a bit grubby at the moment because I've had it and handled it for 20 odd years. Beautiful pink colour. I don't know if that shows up under this glowing light. It's just a stone that has been with me through thick and thin, and is quite emotional for me. So today I'm going to use these cards in respect of the Afghan people and just get an update. If it's too heavy, I won't post it. I'm hoping it's not. I don't think the world can take its eyes off what's happening in Afghanistan. I know we get distracted by what else is going on in the world. I know Haiti's an absolute mess at the moment. I have read briefly on that on another forum. The US, I have read, will not go into Haiti to try and regain control for some form of government, but I have seen that I believe the UN will send a peacekeeping force into Haiti. Again, the people of Haiti are beautiful people, and they are just being betrayed. Simple as that, by the corruption and power and greed. So there's that going on as well. There's China launching missiles now. I strongly feel that no, not heading for a war. It's going to be a Cold War type situation, saber rattling, because China knows that if they launch anything against the US, or Russia launches anything against the US, then they themselves will be obliterated. So yeah, the world is not going there. The leaders are not stupid. They're not going to do anything. It'll just be a bit of a Cold War situation, and I'll do a reading on another day regarding China, but behind that is I have seen it is insecurity. China is not flourishing as it was. The government has a lot of difficult decisions there. Also got the climate change COP26 coming up. I've got so many things that I've said I've got to read and I've got to remember them all. I'll have to write them down. But today, just centre myself. Thank you, Meister. Share with us your wisdom. Okay. Sorry about that. Took a little bit longer than usual to put my protection around because there's so much going on, but also Afghanistan is always difficult to read on. So, Meister, can you please tell us what's happening and what will happen for the people of Afghanistan? The people of Afghanistan. The people of Afghanistan. What do we need to keep an eye out for? What do we need to support them with? The people of Afghanistan. Oh gosh, flinging them out everywhere. Way too many there. Chariot on the bottom. Chaos. Afghanistan. Oh, goodness me, fumble fingers. Eight of Swords. They feel like they're being held hostage. This is the people. This is not the Taliban. This is not the government. This is the people. You'll notice that, so this is the signifier. You'll notice this person is unbound, whereas they're seeing their reflection in the mirror of being bound and blindfolded. So the people themselves are feeling that they are powerless, being held hostage. Signifier card. Base of the reading is the Nine of Swords. Anxiety. It's quite, you only have to look at this. Severe anxiety. However, there is a white dove here amongst all the black crows. Actually, I think it might even be a white crow amongst all the black crows, symbolising that there is hope, that all is not despair. In the past was the retaking by the Taliban. This is just endless fighting for no reason but to fight. Top of the reading is justice. Now this is about integrity and rebalancing and justice. So we need to keep, from the West, we need to keep an eye on what's happening and hold our governments to account. Near future is Four of Cups, loss. This is what they're feeling, awful loss. However, if you look on this side of the card, there is a cup still full and with radiant light. So again, there is hope. The world is watching for the truth. So the Knight of Swords is a harsh truth. Knights are all moving forward with a message. He is determined, he is brash, So the world will hold the Taliban to account. Wish I could say the same of our government, but I suppose they're part of the world. Hopes and fears is Nine of Pentacles. Now this is independence, luxury, living a good life. This is the hope. Near future, King of Swords, a powerful authoritarian figure who swords are truth and intellect, so he is watching over the kingdom and making sure that what they say they're going to do, they do for the sake of the people. I actually, looking at this, I just got a very strong feeling that there is going to be a strong leader emerge from the people. Now, their system of government is over there is not what we do in the West. Never has been, and probably never will be, because their culture is so completely different. Not to say that they can't have a brilliant future, and I get the feeling that this is actually an authoritarian person, a bloke, a powerful bloke, who is going to emerge and care for the country. Yes, the wheel. This is karma, fate, but it's also the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So this is the outcome, and the Queen of Pentacles. So she is practicality, she is security, she is compassion. Base of the pack, Six of Wands, celebration. Nine of Wands, defending yourself, but look at the power in that stance. She ain't taking no crap from nobody. And then the Queen of Wands again, powerful female figure. Just because they're female does not mean it's actually a woman. Queens are compassion and independence, and wands are messages. So she is an inspirational message of compassion and independence, which is the future for Afghanistan. So I'm quite glad I read on that. I thought it was going to be an awful heavy reading. So yes, difficult in the short term, as attested by the, the Nine of Swords and the Five of Wands and the Four of Cups and the, quite and the Eight of Swords, etc., etc. But the long, I read when the US government left Afghanistan, I read on Afghanistan at that stage, and I pulled similar cards. I'll have to go back and look at the reading, but the cards were very similar in that the future of Afghanistan's going to be okay. It's very grim. In the meantime, the world needs to keep an eye on them, on what's going on, hold them to account. But Afghanistan will get there, and it will come from the people. It won't come from the current corrupt governments or the Taliban or whomever else in the mercenary world. It will come from the people, for the people. Okay, well, looking forward to getting rid of my my homegrown Camilla haircut and getting back to my Annie Lennox. Still haven't booked in for a haircut. I'm just baby steps. I'm just really baby steps with the coming out of lockdown. I have family members who could be susceptible, so I'm very keen not to be exposed to COVID and bring anything home or to my group. So please excuse me. Here's my natural colour finally at last as I went grey. But yes, I feel a lot better for that, so thank you for joining me. Okay, sleep well tonight. Bless you all and love.